So anything you say and do can be
Used against you in the court of law.
used against you in the court of open source. Yeah. And okay, so I started sharing my screen. Can you see it, Simon?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so I'll just go. So we don't have anything yet for admin UI. Okay, monitoring and analytics, we have 3. So is that TreeCon?
It should be, yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, fabric. All right, what should we pull in for fabric?
Yeah, we started on a bunch of stories related to testing last time, but we couldn't get through them because some of them just didn't work with the build that we had from Broadcom. So I would certainly put all the testing stories back in there, although, starting from right from the top, all of the 19, 26, 30, 29, 32, 42. I would skip 38 and 39 right now because their significance has sort of gone down.
Okay.
36, put that back in. 21, 22, 23, and 24. 27, I would put it in because we have Criterion's help now, or at least offer to help.
Yep.
If you 43
right click,
goes
it'll
in.
give you an option. So what's the next one?
43. And 34 and 35.
Oh, I see. Send to bottom backlog. Cool. Okay. I'm sorry. What was the last one? 35.
34 and 35. That's that should be a good.
13 points. That's good.
Yeah, last print we didn't get much done at all, but this print should be.
All right, so I screwed up.
Sorry,
I sent them to the wrong place. So okay, so 34 and 35. So these go into sprint. Sorry, my coffee hasn't kicked in yet.
That's okay. Have some more.
Let's see.
Right, something is wrong here.
And since we are going to start on this, probably 48. I'm going to start on that anyway. So 48. I know it's a big story, but we have to start it sometimes. So.
Okay, so out of these, Saurabh, I apologize. I think I missed a few. So 40, 41, and 43.
Let me check. No, I didn't say 44.
No.
I said 34, which is already in there.
Yeah.
And
I guess out of these ones that are at the bottom of the backlog.
43 should go too.
yeah, 43. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Flavio. Okay, so is that look right
That's
there?
it, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this print I expect will be much better in terms of getting through more stories.
Okay. All right, good. All right, should we jump back to monitoring and analytics?
Yeah.
Shrikant, hey, how are you? So, are these the correct 3 or are there other ones?
Yeah.
20 points are good for a sprint? Sorry, I missed how many typical points?
So it's a 3-week sprint.
3 weeks.
Yep.
So 15.
About 15 points probably, yeah. Be about right.
I mean, you can consider
Yeah.
it as a 1.5 resource with Scott also working on one of the, I guess.
Okay. All right, so that looks good then. Okay. All right, Andy?
Yes. Okay. So in this sprint, I think we want 93, which is almost done. 99.
Okay, so 93, 99.
104. 85. And 85, it looks like maybe there's no points associated with that. That's probably 5 points.
Okay.
And let's see, is there anything else? 177. And that doesn't have any points either. So I can never remember the point significance. I know it's Fibonacci numbers, but so like say one person, this might take one person the entire sprint. How many points would that be?
15.
15?
Yep.
But I'm not allowed to say 15, right? Because that's not a Fibonacci number. So like 13?
Yeah, 13 I would say.
13?
13 is like the
Oh, he says 13.
upper. And usually you have to have a good reason to say 13, I would say. I would say 8.
Oh, okay.
Because
8?
13
All right.
seems like a decomposable task.
Let's go 8.
Whereas 8 is more like the.
Well, I missed the question. I thought he meant how many total could a person sign up for?
Could a person?
Yeah.
Could a single person for an entire sprint?
Yeah.
I would, yeah.
Was that the question, Andy, or was I answering?
No, my question was more just in terms of understanding what points to associate with this particular task.
Oh,
And if it was going to take, Tony, I think, the entire sprint to do it, like, how many points should get? But you're saying that if that's the case, that one person would take the entire sprint just to do this task, then the task itself needs to be decomposed.
yes.
Okay. Well, let's see. So,
We think about, a point being some portion of a day, a couple points being a day, 3 points being a few days, 5 points being a week, and then 8 being you want to try to decompose it.
yeah, okay. All right, well, so since we need probably to move on, well, let's put an 8 with this,
Okay.
and I'll figure out how to adjust it.
Okay.
And I think that's probably all.
Okay, thanks. Okay.
So Bill, sorry I'm late. Is there anything that I missed that I need to comment on?
I don't think so, not yet. We're just dragging the stories into the sprint right now from the different epics. Okay, so how about this epic, the integrate services in XOS? Is that for later, or is there anything in this sprint?
The only thing I think we could put in is the VSG development environment, so 116. Oh, and possibly 144, but no, let's just leave it with 116 right now.
Okay. Okay, and then XOS and Ecomp. Are we doing anything yet with Ecomp? It seems like one of the first stories around this would be coming up with a scope of what we want to do, either between now and the end of October or between now and the end of December, right? So there has to be. Do we really know kind of the scope of how this integration is going to work, or are we going to spend any time the next 3 weeks trying to work with AT&T to figure out what Ecomp is and how we connect into it?
Is Scott on?
Yeah, I'm here. I have, I've talked to a guy at AT&T, but it was a few weeks ago, and I haven't heard anything new from him. So the only eConf related stuff I think we're doing is to, continue our Tosca support. In assumption that will be useful to them.
Okay, so should one of these two issues be brought into the sprint?
Yeah, I think the Tosca wraparound XOS API should be brought in.
Okay. And do you have an estimate on the size for this?
I think I did put in some estimates for some of the subtasks on it. I think I put a week for Tosca-based test cases. Are the subtasks broke down in the? Yeah, I think I put like a week on the test cases, and a week on the 153 item, adding more XOS objects and fields, and maybe a day for some of the a couple of the other items.
Okay, so in general, what we do is we would so if this whole story is larger than kind of 8 points, right, a couple of weeks of work, then we'd break it down into a couple of different stories.
So is it okay that once the sprint has started, we can take a story which is previously in the sprint, has 8 or 13 points, and then break that down? It's
Sure.
okay to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And once we break it down, it might be that some of these sub stories that we create might fall out of the sprint. It can be move things out.
You can
of the
move them
sprint.
out. Yeah, just tell me, and I'll move them out of the scope. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this task is mostly a one sprint thing.
Okay. So unestimated. Okay, so I'm going to put an 8 on it. Okay, and I don't want to cause overhead, but if you think it makes sense to split it into a couple of stories, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, we'll just expect that all of this will get done in this iteration.
Sounds good.
Okay, thanks. Okay. OLT.
So 77 should go in. I thought it was already resolved and there was a comment there. I guess there isn't. Alright, anyway, 77 should go in.
Yep.
75 should go in.
Oops.
The 77 is one for group support.
Yeah.
What is EDK?
EDK is the OLT. It's the, I don't know, I use EDK and OLT interchangeably because EDK is what we actually have. OLT is a much bigger office. Like EDK is a something development kit.
It's like the prototype we have.
Yeah, it's the prototype we have. I would say 78. And how many points is that? 14. I would say that's good for now.
Okay.
And even like the 78 is just this kind of ongoing task that I'm pushing BMC to think strongly about because they keep on, every time I talk to them, they keep on saying, what are the features we need for the next demo? And today I was like, it's not demos, it's real stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah, carrying on slowly.
All right, good. Okay, overlay and virtualization.
So 68, 70. $151. I think 65 is basically done, right?
Yeah.
It's done, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so close it out.
Alright, so we can probably pull in one more. Probably something that we might want to start doing is 66. Oh, 66 and 67. 67 is basically done.
So yes, plan 66?
66 and 67, yeah. Because 67 is basically done.
Should we adjust to be like do what I did last week in ONOS?
Yeah, so that's I'm pulling that into 151. Maybe we should break that down. But I was kind of hoping that now that you've done that, we go to Yunsun and explain, and then do.
All right, that it? All right. So nothing on mobile cord. Okay, but issues without epics.
Can you click on that? 172. What's
So we're playing with ONOS and how to deploy that in terms of the core infrastructure, kind of that initial deployment, how does ONOS get up and running? And we're doing some work with Kubernetes as well as with Sienna deployment platform, what they call a Blue Planet platform. So some of that work is happening under there. It's how do we get this solution actually deployed? And that includes not only ONOS, but it does include the other components as well.
What's Kubernetes? You got this?
That's Google's Docker container deployment framework, I guess, or solution.
Okay. All right.
Should we have another epic around packaging or deployment or something related to this?
Maybe a little premature. How about next sprint? We could start thinking about packaging things together. I think it's a little early because the components are kind of still not feasible.
I mean, we're gonna be working on it, even some of this
Yeah.
sprint, to be honest.
Yeah,
So might as well have an epic.
That's good, but what I'm saying is that lots of the components right now are kind of in a state where they're not fusible. So I'd rather not try to be constrained by connecting them to each other now, but in the next sprint, where we can spend more time when we have something actually working, the individual components actually working, we can start thinking about how to put them together.
But that's orthogonal to actually having an epic, right?
Yeah, it is, to some extent, yeah.
I mean, at some point we know we're going to need to.
I mean, we could have an epic and we could start putting things in the epic, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that too.
So Dave, if you want to add an epic.
Okay, I'll do that, and I'll put some stuff in there. It's probably that we'll at least this sprint be working on.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
So the configuration management that is in the XOS Epic inches in that direction, but not with Kubernetes, but with Docker. As elements become available, they will be integrated into those Docker files.
Docker files, as in Docker compose. I mean, a Docker file is a single process.
Docker specification.
Right, and Kubernetes essentially it launches Docker containers. So I'm depending on what you're doing in that, it's relatively orthogonal.
Okay.
Okay.
Where does stuff like the theoretic go? Like the different services that we're building, although we may have to build something.
It probably needs an epic.
Did not have an epic?
For just that, or for like services, service implementations?
Service implementations?
I mean, well, I
We're not building
would have
service.
one per service, right? Because,
Okay, yeah.
you know,
But one for service like VSG,
If you refresh this, I have one task, which is figure out what we actually do.
okay. All right. All right, all issues. Oh, David, do you have a size that you want to put on the Kubernetes thing? Estimate?
Dungeon, you're gonna be playing with that this sprint. Do you have a feel for that size?
What was the size?
he's asking.
Oh,
Yeah.
so, I don't,
Is the dungeon?
it's one is part of a day, two is a day, three is a few days.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I don't know what happens to my mic. Put 5 there. I was trying to edit it, but I couldn't find it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm also gonna be adding some more things like the Charmander thing. I'm gonna be playing with that this sprint.
Charmander?
When
It's an AT&T thing.
Oh, okay.
when do you expect to actually start the sprint, Bill? Hit the start button.
So I was going to hit the start button at the end of this meeting, and so if there's other issues that need to be brought into it, I can do that afterwards and just expand the scope.
Okay.
Not a problem. All right. Anything?
Yeah, so we'll get some probably after the start button's pressed then.
Okay. Yeah, just let me know. I mean, drag them in if you can. I don't know if it'll let you, but if not, let me know and I'll do it.
Okay.
Right? Anything else? It's like a good amount of stuff. All right, cool. We'll get it started. All right. So that's it. So thanks, everyone. Happy sprinting.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.